Hello, I'm Eric O'Gray with ShopDogTools.com, and today I'd like to tell you all about the wonderful tool chest that we're going to be raffling for Plain Wellness this May 11th through 14th. If you're not familiar with Plain Wellness, they're a worthy 50c3 who helps disabled veterans with a disability rating and other people with a mental health diagnosis receive free woodworking classes. I'm on the board of Plain Wellness, and this is our annual raffle. As the padlock for the case, we have this 19th century solid brass, Old English Admiralty padlock with 2 keys by Jas Morgan and Son Limited, locksmiths by appointment. And it has 2 working keys, and it's just an absolutely stunningly beautiful 19th century brass padlock in perfect working condition. I'll be going through each one of these tools, but first, let's talk about what we're doing here. The tool inventory here was influenced by the essential tool list in Chris Schwartz's revised book, The Anarchist Tool Chest by Lost Art Press 2025. The tool assortment in this chest was curated by me and is intended to provide a comprehensive, complete set of woodworking tools for a professional hand tool woodworker. All tools are in new condition or were restored by me to original factory condition based on experience and techniques I've developed in more than 10,000 hours I've spent restoring vintage tools in just the past 10 years. Last year, we raffled a full set of meticulously restored Stanley Bedrock Type 6 planes, all in perfect original factory condition. That auction raised about $14,000 for Plain Wellness. In this auction, this year, we hope to raise $20,000, and that's where you come in. I spent about 1 year collecting and restoring this set of tools for this raffle. Several months ago, I felt like I was over my head in terms of being able to finish in time and made an appeal for help. And the awesome people that I'm going to call out in this video all helped as specified. Now, this raffle will run on the Can I Have It Vintage Tool sales site on Facebook, and you have to be a member from May 10th to 14th with a random Facebook Live drawing on May 14th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, you must be a member of the Can I Have It group to purchase entries. Each entry will cost $10 with 100% of all money collected donated to Plain Wellness. I will pay the shipping cost if the winner is in the U.S. If the winner is from outside the U.S., everyone is welcome to participate worldwide, but any winner from outside the U.S. must pay actual shipping charges and other necessary like governmental fees. Included with the tools will be a very special Dutch tool chest custom made by Shay Alexander, which will feature marquetry embellishments by Albert Klein. An anonymous, very awesome donor has funded construction of the Dutch tool chest. And before the raffle, I'll repost this video along with photos of the finished Dutch tool chest. So, the tool inventory that I'm going to go through next is provided in the same order, roughly, as Chris Schwartz's book, but is somewhat more extensive. This selection is based upon my personal preferences and continuous woodworking experience since Mr. Brooks' 7th grade woodshop class over 50 years ago. The tool assortment is also influenced by my interest and trade in premium and collectible British woodworking tools. These are mostly the same tools I use in my own work and I can't live without. All edge tools are honed, razor sharp with polished bevels. All tools are fettled for immediate use. So let's talk about the planes in the tool chest first. To start out, we have this Veritas number 6. Now, I like a number 6 better than a number 7 in a traveling toolbox, which this is for several reasons. First, I look at every tool in this toolbox as NASA might look at what's going on in the space shuttle. Every inch and every ounce counts, so let's make the most of it. So the reason I like this number 6 over a number 7, there's only 3 inches difference between a 6 and a 7. So why not save the 3 inches? And if you're going to be planing long boards, really on a 6 or 8 foot board, there's really no difference between a 6 and a 7 in my opinion. And it really kind of comes down to planing skills. So that's what I like. The other thing I like about a 6 better than a 7 is that this just makes an outstanding shooting plane. So what I like about the Veritas in particular is the Norris adjuster that combines with the barrel nuts that they put into the sole. So this kind of like locks your blade in place. There's no slop, there's no wiggle. It's just a wonderful plane to use, and something I really like in my own woodwork. So for a jack plane, we have this this Clifton Green number 5. This is a very special, famous plane. These are highly sought after by woodworkers. This particular model in the green hasn't been made in several years. It's just it's a wonderful plane with a 2-part chip breaker. And I really like the chip breaker is based upon the record Stay Set chip breaker design. And what I really like about it most, in addition to providing some additional stability for the to really give you a rock tight blade setting, is you can take off the lever cap here and just take out the blade, and you can freehand sharpen it without having to take the chip breaker off the blade. So it's very convenient. You can just really, put this onto a diamond stone or whatever you want to use really quick, and in less than a minute, you're back to planing again with a razor sharp blade. So this, as you can see, is in perfect condition. It's very shiny, it's very beautiful. And next up, we have this record number 4, this Clifton number 4, which is also very beautiful, also very perfect condition. And this is a smoothing plane. Now, what's not shown here is the amazing and awesome Chris Byrne has created a scrub plane that's about the size of this number 5, I believe. And unfortunately, I don't have a photo of it that I can put in here. He's sending it separately to the person making the toolbox, Shay Alexander. So it's not in this video, but I want to let everybody know that also included is a custom-made walnut and maple scrub plane by Chris Byrne out of the UK. And I'm really excited when he donated that. It's absolutely beautiful. We'll show pictures of it in the final photos before everything goes out, but it's also something you got to see and you got to have, because it's absolutely beautiful. I was stunned when I saw it. So great job, Chris, and thank you so much for your generosity. Next up is one of my most used planes, and by the way, all these come with plane socks. Next up is one of my most used planes, which is this Veritas block plane DX60 with a PMB 11 blade, just like on the number 6. So this is just one of the, absolutely one of the best block planes ever made. I couldn't live without it. And this one is in brand new, perfect condition. And I know that the winner is absolutely gonna love using this. Okay, following that is this Record 043 shoulder plane in absolutely, you can see, perfect, brand new condition. Look at how beautiful and shiny this is. It's absolutely in perfect condition. This is just meticulous stuff. Basically, this is really what was derived from the Preston line. And if you look at the Lee Nielsen website, where they talk about their own shoulder planes, theirs was patterned after this one. So I really like this one. I think it's just as good as anything ever made. And it's something that I use in my own woodwork, and something that I really rely upon and love. And this one, as you can see, it's in absolute perfect condition and honed razor sharp for your pleasure. Next up is this Record 077A little bullnose chisel plane, rabbet plane. This is a much better tool, in my opinion, than the Stanley 90, because the Stanley 90, Stanley made theirs based upon the Preston. This is based upon the early Preston. So what's really better about this is this little bullnose comes off the front. And in addition to using it as a bullnose plane, you can also use it as a chisel plane, and that's something that the Stanley 90 doesn't allow. Next up, we have the Record 0778, or pardon me, 778, and this the Record 778 duplex rabbet and Philister plane. That's a lot to say, isn't it? But this is just absolutely beautiful. I painstakingly made this perfect, and I got a Brazilian rosewood fence off of an old Stanley 45, and that's what the fence is on this. So it's just absolutely beautiful. This is just, it's in perfect condition, and I know that you're gonna love to use this. It's something that I use all the time, and I can just tell you that this is so much nicer to use than a Stanley 78 or just one of the older Record 78s. This was based upon a design from the WS then Woden Company, Record purchased them in 1959 and then adopted their design on this. So the two arms on this make this much more stable and better to use than the single arm on the 78. I know that you're going to love using this. Okay, next we have the Record 050 combination plane, and it's got all of the attachments, and I made this really special stand for it because on my website I do sell plow plane stands. We kind of have a little room here, but I'm really, particular about plow plane stands. If you don't put it on a stand or some kind of display, it just kind of flops over, or then you end up leaving it in a box. And in the box, you're never really going to use it. So having this on your shelf, and I don't think this is going to fit in the toolbox, but you're going to get it anyway, and you can leave it on the shelf. All the fittings are on this stand. So everything is on the stand, and I made a really nice custom fence for it. So it's a beautiful Bacote fence for it. You can see that, quarter sawn. And all of the blades are in brand new condition and fit perfectly into the stand. So everything that you're looking at comes with this. And if you're like me, once it's displayed like this, you tend to use it a lot. And I know that you're going to enjoy using this. So this will come with everything that you need to use it. All the original brand new condition parts and accessories are on the stand. Next, we have one of my creations, and this is a record. It's a combination Record 043 plow and kerfing plane. Now I modify these and I sell a lot of these. So what this is it's a kerfing plane, and I added a saw blade with a bracket to it. So basically, if you're like me and you don't have enough room in your shop for a bandsaw, you can cut boards really any width and create some mirrored boards that you can then use in panels or in any way that you want, in boxes, and you could just have wraparound boxes where the grain is shown all the way around. So the thing that I like about my plow plane versus some others on the market is my kerf goes a ½ inch. First of all, this is so easy. You can see how big my hand is. It's so easy to guide. You've got a really deep fence on this, so it's very stable in use. This is in perfect condition. I completely restored and re-nickel plated this. And as you can see, it's just really shiny. It's a beautiful plane all the way around. It's in perfect condition. You're really going to enjoy using this. And what I was going to say is that on my kerfing saw blade, I go to a ½ inch depth. Most of the other kerfing planes on the market only go to a ¼ inch depth. I feel that the ½ inch gives you a much deeper track all the way around the board, that when you then come and saw your board, and I use a Bad Axe Rubo saw with mine because, again, and I can use this on boards. I think recently I did one up 16 inches wide, which is bigger than any bandsaw that anybody that I know has. So what I'm saying is that if you have a Rubo saw and this little tiny plane here, you can efficiently slice boards in half down the long way and cut them in half, and then make 2 boards, and then you can use those for whatever purpose you want in woodworking. And then finally, in our plane selection, we have this beautiful, perfect condition Record 071 open throat router, and it's going to come with all the blades, and I'll put all the blades in there. But this is, let me just show you the work that I do on these. These are in perfect condition, and they're completely lapped, all these planes, and you're just really going to love using these. Adam McNamara also donated this beautiful Lee Nielsen brush, which I use to keep my planes clean during use, and also to brush the chips and such off my benchtop while I'm carving. So thank you very much, Adam. Okay, next up are marking and measuring tools. We've got this beautiful pair of Veritas standard wheel marking gauge, and also a Veritas dual wheel marking and mortise gauge. So both of those are included. We've got a Lufkin 6-inch combination square with center finder attachment. We've got a Lufkin 12-inch combination square. Notice the blades on these are all new, all right? Then we have a Lufkin 18-inch combination square with center finder and the compass attachments. So those are really nice. Chris Schwartz recommends this tape measure on his blog, never sponsored. So I took a look at it, and I've always used Stanley in the past, but I love this thing. So this is German, and you can find it online. This is a 3M Viso BMI number 405. What I like about this, it's got a window on the top. So when you pull the blade out, it gives you the exact reading that you could read on the top, and it's in both inches and millimeters. It's also got this really kind of cool feature on it that I can't operate because I'm working with one hand here. But this thing, this little arm swings out, and it's got a little, it turns it into a compass, so you can actually put this out in a measured distance. You can draw a perfect circle. So it does a lot for a tape measure, but it's really cool, and that's why I like it. And that's what I use myself. Next up, we've got this absolute beautiful Honeybrook tools, walnut and quilted maple, this is a walnut marking knife, and this was donated generously by Honeybrook Tools, specifically Will Adams. And isn't this beautiful? This design here is absolutely perfect for dovetails. You see how it's beveled on one side and not the other? This is what you want to use for dovetails, for sure. I've also got a Stanley, this Stanley 10-49 marking knife. This is the exact one recommended by Paul Sellers, the one that he uses, that he's talking about all the time in his videos. And then we have this absolutely gorgeous set of quilted or walnut and quilted maple winding sticks, again from Honeybrook Tools and generously donated by Will Adams, who makes these. We're just delighted to get these for the tool chest. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got its logo in there. You've got your center mark, you've got the sighting marks. You know, you could really get a couple of boards straight with these in the hand planes in this chest. So we're very grateful that Will donated these. Thank you very much. Finally, we have we have full sets of Starrett and Brown and Sharp medium and small straight inside and outside calipers. It's a full set, and also, and I love this brand, this is a Grows 9-inch pencil divider, so you can make, you know, big circles for carving or whatever you want to do, carpentry. So it's for that. And then these are great. We got a big one and a little one for every possible need. And then we have this Edward Preston. This is about 100 years old. It's a rosewood and brass torpedo level, perfect condition, works perfectly. You can see the bubble in there. It's awesome. And then a DFM speed square. I mean, I use this in my woodwork really every day, and these are just, it's a wonderful product. A DFM center finder. If you're not used to using one of these, you want to, because with this little tool, you put the rods in there, and then basically you straddle a board with it, and you put a pencil in the center, and you draw a straight line exactly down the center of the board to mark it for dowels or whatever else that you need to do that for. But it's an essential tool in my opinion. And then we have this wonderful Kell brass dovetail markers, generously donated by Adam McNamara. Thank you, Adam, and these are great. This is a professional dovetail marker. And then these Mitutoyo dial calipers, accurate to 0.001, generously donated by Kyle O'Neill. Thank you so much, Kyle. And these are in perfect condition. I'm really jealous of these because it's better than the one I have, but that's okay. I'll get another one. And then finally, we have this Nick Pro 0.5 millimeter pencil set, and this is what you need to do to mark out dovetail. This is what Chris Schwartz recommends, and I totally agree with him on this. This is it's a 0.5 millimeter, allow you to really kind of like do a great job with dovetails and other things you want to mark in your woodwork. And then finally, we have a Lost Art Press pencil and pen holder. This is really convenient. Maybe shake and like attach this on the inside so that you can like put all your pencils and pens in here. So next up we have edge tools, and specifically this full set of 11 Ashley Isles American pattern bevel edge chisels with Bubinga handles and brushed brass barrels in all sizes from 1/8 all the way up to 2 inches. I personally think that these are the best looking chisels ever made. And what I've done is I've flattened and mirror polished the backs and razor honed these so they're immediately ready for use. So this will be maybe the finest set of chisels that you'll ever use. In my opinion, they are. And I exclusively use Ashley Isles in my woodwork, and I just absolutely love the chisels, everything about them. Aren't they just amazing looking? And you're just gonna love using these. And these come with a blue spruce chisel roll. Next, in edge tools, we have spoke shaves and scrapers and burnishers and such. So let's talk about what we have. First up is the record number A151 concave spoke shave. Next is the record number, it's the blue one right there, the 0151 flat spoke shave. Next is the record number 055 convex blade spindle spoke shave. And man, I have really done a good job. I think you'll see with the blade on that. It's absolutely perfect, and it's ready for use. And then we have the record number A65 chamfer shave, which is the red one right there, and it'll allow you to chamfer the edge of a board. It's very convenient to use, I think. Next is the record number 080 cabinet scraper plane. You see how perfect condition that is. I mean, it's the bottom is lapped. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then we have this. All this is in a Lee Valley spoke shave wallet that you're looking at, and with a set of next we have DFM Whiskey River DFM cabinet scrapers donated by Whiskey River. Thank you very much. A Lee Valley cabinet scraper wallet. A set of Lee Nielsen cabinet scrapers, generously donated by Marco Lindsay. Thank you so much, Marco. These are just awesome, new condition Lee Nielsen cabinet scrapers. And then as far as burnishers, we have, this is what everybody talks about. This is the AccuBurr brass handled number JR1. This is a lot of people's personal favorite. We also have the Veritas variable burnisher, and this was generously donated by Lou Panecchia. And I would use all these burnishers for different purposes. I mean, you're using, these burnishers do have different uses, so it's really good to have more than one. And then we have this Carber 2 burnisher from Lost Art Press. I'm trying to take this out of the wallet here. Here's the Carber 2 burnisher from Lost Art Press, generously donated by Luke Rowan. Thank you so much, Luke. This is wonderful, and I would absolutely use this for any of these special profile scrapers, and also for really anything that was kind of difficult to get. You can use this as it's great for all these specialty purposes. So I use all three of these in my woodwork, and these are just wonderful, and I know that you're going to love using them all. Continuing with edge tools, got these fully restored Marples boxwood handled, hand forged shallow sweep, 1.25 inch in-cannel paring gouges. And a lot of people go, do these really have a purpose anymore? And I use them all the time. You get a shallow sweep like this, and I wish I could show you the edge because I really mirror polished them. It's beautiful, but I edge protected everything before I shipped these all out to Shea, and that's the way it is. But I use these all the time. You could use these like a scrub plane. You could use these to really reduce or take down a dowel sticking over the top. It's really easy to use like that. You're never, ever, ever going to use a hammer on these. These are just hand applied. And I have honed these. I've ground the edges and I've beveled these at 22 degrees. They're razor sharp. You can shave anything with these. And it's just like, again, it's like using a scrub plane with a shallow sweep like that. You can get all the way across a board. And I use these all the time. Next, I have a 1 inch width, same type. It's a Marples boxwood handle, hand forged. It's about a number 7 sweep, 1 inch in-cannel paring gouge. And what I do with this is I would use this to create coves and other little decorations and embellishments in my boxes and other things that I make. And I do tend to use this all the time. I find it a very useful plane. So I don't think that you need more than these two as far as, in-cannel paring gouges, but it's really handy to have these two. And that's why I put them in there. I think that they're essential. The next thing that I think is essential is this iSorbet London pattern boxwood handle 1/2 inch paring chisel. And this is just, it's absolutely beautiful. This handle was hand turned. This was donated by my friend William Lay in the UK. I don't know if it's Lee or Lay, I'll have to ask him. But if you look him up on Instagram, he is Billy Big Bowls on Instagram, and he makes these really awesome turning videos and such. So one of the things he specializes in are these beautiful boxwood handle creations, and he makes them better than anybody that I've ever seen. And this is an exact duplicate, and these are made to order for me, and they're just really perfect. So this paring chisel and the handle is from Billy, and thank you very much, Billy. We really appreciate it. Next up, we have this Marples. This is a mortise chisel, and this is a 5/16 Marples mortise chisel in brand new, unused condition. And this is one of the ones that Chris Schwartz recommends also in his book. And I think that you're going to really love this. So a lot of stuff you tend to want to buy like a whole set. You don't really need a set of these. You only need like either a quarter or a 5/16, and you're going to use these to do mortises, blind or through, and just about anything you'd create. And I think that this is all that you need for mortises, because if you're just doing 3/4 and 7/8 boards, this is really all that you ever need. We also have this Henry Taylor boxwood handle, 1/2 inch flat blade, cranked bevel edge chisel. And man, I use these all the time. I love these. I think that 1/2 is just about all that you need. It's perfect to get into rabbets and dados and grooves and anything you want to clean the bottom out of really quickly. No need to get out the router. You can do it with this and really get like a really crisp bottom to any kind of groove or dado or rabbet that you were going to use. And again, this is polished and razor sharp and ready to work. Finishing up with in edge tools, we have this beautiful vintage 1930s Elwell all-purpose carpentry carving axe, restored and with sheath made by the great Kyle Brown, who's very famous in the axe community. So Kyle took this axe, and you can see that this has got the original handle. Look at that. Isn't that just spectacular? It's glorious looking with the patina on it. And he put a razor edge on it. And what I use these for in my woodwork is you can turn anything that you want that starts out a square, you can make round with this. So you're going to use this to in a rough fashion for carpentry and carving, to profile things and really kind of like turn something from from square to round, or really to put a profile on something. And this is just absolutely beautiful. And again, it comes with a sheath custom made by Kyle. And then finally, we have this James Howarth 6-inch draw knife, restored with sheath made by Eli Arnold. Thank you, Eli. This is absolutely beautiful. You did a great job with this. The edge is razor sharp, and this is basically going to help you shave spindles and make axe handles and things of that nature. So it's ready to work. Finally, we have this Ukraine-made large folding knife. It's a beautiful kind of like survival type knife that you can use for like all kinds of different purposes. And it is brand new and ready to work. Next category, files and rasps. We have this Nicholson 10-inch mill bastard and flat smooth file. And you're thinking, why are you doing machinist's files in a woodworking tool set? Well, for a lot of different reasons. I'm just shocked at how often I use these. And you really do need them to make your scrapers work. So basically, when you lose the burr in your scraper, the first step is to joint the edge and make it perfectly flat with one of these before you use the burnisher. So that's what I do. Okay, so next we have this really beautiful set of Lee Valley cabinet rasps, and these are really everything you need. So we got the large, the medium, and then the small. And these are wonderful. I've used these extensively and they work great, and it's about all you need. I've got a couple extra in there. And then of course, the famous Shinto rasp. When all else fails, use a Shinto. You can shape anything with this. This is absolutely an essential tool and one I use all the time. You really need one of these if you don't have one. Okay, so our next category is saws, and we're gonna start out with one from my personal collection. This Charlie Ernst 10-inch Seton tool chest, 16 point per inch dovetail saw with walnut canyon handle. And this is just these are world-class. This is a world-class saw and something you're really going to enjoy making dovetails with. Following that, we have, and this was done by Bob Page. We have the Spear & Jackson 10-inch, 13 point per inch carcass saw, filed crosscut. And this is, he did a wonderful job on this. You got to, see it to believe it. Next, this is not the one you're getting. This is out of my personal collection, but Charlie made one specifically for this auction. Thank you so much, Charlie. You're so generous. And, this would normally be sold by Charlie, the saw. This is just to talk about what you're getting here. This would be a $700 saw. And what this is like one of Charlie's best. It's a 16-inch 10-inch saw with about a 3.75-inch deep plate filed crosscut. And, I just can't tell you, I use this all the time, and it's, it's my go-to back saw, and I just use it for almost everything. So this is really, really a luxury high-end saw. So you're not getting this one right here. This one's mine, but Charlie has already sent the one that he's donating to Shay to fit into the tool chest. So you're going to see photos of that as we get closer to the actual raffle. And next, we have a Diston D8 20-inch panel saw, filed fine crosscut, very fine crosscut by Michael Merlo. I don't know if you're familiar with Michael, but he sells saws on eBay, and his sharpened saws normally sell for $400 or $500. So that's really about the value of this. I would call this at least a $400 saw right here, based upon what he normally sells. Okay, this is the closest I've ever found to a blue spruce coping saw. This is a very fine one. This is made by a company called Tool Cool, and this is just about as good as a blue spruce coping saw. So I have installed a fine blade in this, and this is absolutely ready to work for use with your dovetails. I've tried the fancy red fret saws that are really popular, and I've tried them like 5 different times. I've never been able to get them to work properly without breaking the blade. So I personally prefer using the more traditional coping and fret saws. You're going to love this particular one. I would recommend everybody looking at these if you are looking for a fine coping saw. I also have, this is a rough, this is a Nicholson number 50 for rougher work, but it's in perfect condition, does a great job. And definitely you can use this for rounding the corners on stuff and all kinds of things. And for dovetails, for tools for working wood, it's got just these fabulous jeweler saw, and I use these for dovetails also. And these will work with a really fine blade. They hold the blade securely, give you a huge tension in them without snapping. And I just can't say enough about these jeweler saws. And they're not really that expensive, but it is really my favorite fret saw, and that's why I've included it in this selection. Next category is striking and fastening tools. I love that category in Chris's book. And what we have here is my version of the best brace ever made for drilling, of course. And that would be this Pre-Stanley North Brothers Yankee 10-inch number 2101A brace. Now, this is in new condition. I've replated the relevant parts on this, re-nickel plated these in my shop, and it's just absolutely in perfect condition. This is just a beautiful, everything is perfectly lubricated, ready to work. The ratchet is just outstanding. I don't think that this saw very heavy use. It's in perfect condition. Again, I nominate this as the best brace ever made. Next, we have this Pre-Stanley North Brothers Yankee number 1545 heavy duty multi-geared drill. And if you need to go through metal or whatever you need to do with the drill bit, this is restored to perfect condition. Again, relevant parts re-nickel plated. You can see that this is just absolutely in perfect condition. It's lubricated. It's, the gears are perfect. It's a multi-speed drill. As you can tell, you just set it for however you want to use it, and it is ready to work. And then finally, for drills, I have this Marples number 420. This is for smaller stuff like picture frames and anything you'd want a good small general purpose drill for. This is a Marples number 423 ball bearing gear drill in unused original condition. It's just absolutely beautiful and it's perfect, and you'll love using this for sure. And then to top it all off, what would be drills without drill bits? So we have this full set, hold on a second, of new condition Russell Jennings set. This is a number 32.5 set with number 100 auger bits in a triple tier box. So it's got the full assortment. All the tips are perfect and nothing is rounded. They're all like sharp, original, and you're gonna love using these. So next up is still in striking and fastening tools is hammers and mallets. So I made this in my shop. This is a shop dog mallet. And this is from a 19th century English lawn bowling ball in lignum vitae. And I forget if this is either the hardest or the second hardest wood in the world, but it makes just an amazing mallet. So rather than do a large one, I did a medium-sized one. This is 29 ounces. See my logo's in the top. And I think you're gonna get a lot of great use out of this. And it's beautiful, shiny, and you know, I'm really happy with the way it came out. So after that, we have this one that is made by Stephen Lee. This is a custom dead blow square mallet, and Stephen has this bumblebee logo that he puts on his. So thank you, Stephen. And this is a great, it's a great dead blow mallet. And what I'd use this for is whacking in panels, or you know, just knocking in my dovetails or something like that. So it really makes a lot of sense. This, I believe, is a Cocobolo head. And, you know, he's got all these brass fittings and everything. It's absolutely a beautiful mallet. And I think you'll get a lot of use out of that. So for carving, and especially like smaller, using with smaller gouges, this is my most used mallet. Now, this is fairly common. This is a wood is good 12-ounce mallet. And what I like about these, and what these are really known for, is this surface right here won't dent, and it won't dent your gouges, or the handles on your gouges. And then it's also, it grips them when you hit them, so it doesn't skate and it doesn't move. You just know what you're doing. It hits, it works every time. And I really recommend these, and I use them all the time. Now, one of my single most used striking implements is this Vaughn 12-ounce soft face mallet. Now, these are at Home Depot. They're like 20 bucks or whatever, but I'm telling you, just for like generally banging and knocking stuff, when you don't want to dent the things that you're working on, these are just outstanding, and I just can't tell you how often I reach for one. So because to me, this is an essential tool, I included it in the toolbox. And then additionally, we have this brass Warrington pattern hammer. Now, so this is great. This is a multi-purpose thing right here. This is great as a plain iron hammer. You want to do something without basically, you want to hit metal on this, but without damaging the metal. This is perfect for that, the brass face. So you can use this on planes. You can use this just for when you need like a little nudge and you want to hit something without denting it. This is perfect for that. Now with this end, if you hold a little nail in your fingers right there, and you just tap, tap, tap it, you can then seat it, and then you can come along on the other side and drive it in, and then you're not going to dent your wood because this is a fairly soft face. So this is a great combination for just nailing in brass. I have this set of Lee Valley countersinks for, you know, when you have to use nails. I don't use nails that often anymore, but when I do, these are really, really nice to have. We've got this Garrett Wade long spring center punch, and then a self-centering center punch. So when you need to like mark something on a board and you want to like drill, basically you're gonna do that. It basically, you press down on it, it makes a click, it puts a perfect point on the board, and then that'll hold you can then just follow up with your drill, and when you put your drill on there, it's going to seat into that point, and it's not going to skate on you as you drill. So these are also, in my opinion, essential tools. I also have this beautiful wood screw top brad awl, and basically these are just wonderful to have. You kind of like you poke it in there, and then your screw goes in there, and then, you know, it just everything is centered and set, and nothing skates on you. So you can use this to set drill points as well. So I forget who makes this, but I have another one of these, and I got it, and it's just, I just love using it. Okay, and rounding out this category, you know, I've always loved these Grace wooden handle gunsmith woodworkers screwdriver sets, and I've been using these for a long time myself, and I was delighted when I saw that Chris Schwartz recommended them also, and he has these in his own tool chest. So we have this 5-piece gunsmith woodworkers Phillips screwdriver set. We've also got this 8-piece gunsmith woodworkers slotted screwdriver set. These are the complete sets, the best ones that Grace makes, and they're brand new. The final category is other essential tools. These aren't just any scissors. These are Humboldt Spear Point utility shears made by Whiskey River Trading Company and donated by Eli Arnold. And Eli Arnold, he you know, and I made like a call, and can anybody help me out with some stuff? He said, you got to try these. These are the best scissors ever made. And I totally agree with them. These are hands down, if you haven't tried these are the best scissors ever made. You got to try them. It's just amazing. They're fairly hard to buy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the article that goes with this that shows you where to get them. But there's a waiting list on getting them, I guess. So I'm on the waiting list right now, and I can't wait to get my own set. And I'm very kind of envious that this set is going up to somebody else, because I really do want to keep them. But off they go. So following that, thank you, Eli, for that donation. So following that, we have 5 sets of torque lock, channel lock, and soft jaw pliers. Now, these are generously donated by Eric Benson. And the thing I love about these pliers, these soft jaw pliers, have you ever wanted to take the bolt out of the back of a plain frog, and you tried to do it and you damaged the threads? This is what you need right here. You can grip the threads on anything with these babies, and it grips really tight, and you can just, you know, like twist it out like this, and it's, you know, after you use whatever you need to do to unfreeze the bolt. But this is what you want to use on anything that's threaded, and I just use the heck out of those. These pliers I love. These are essential tools. And, you know, originally back in, I think, the 30s or 40s, people came out with hand vices, and then somebody invented needle nose locking pliers, and these have replaced hand vices for a long time ago. But these are essential tools that you use all the time to grip like small things that you want to use and hold on a grinder, or in any way you don't want to get your fingers involved. So I use these all the time, and I think that these are essential woodworking tools as well. Then finally, a few more essential tools that are included. I love this Tweezerman slant and point tweezer set. This is what Chris Schwartz recommends, and I totally agree. For removing splinters, these are what you want. And also, I can't tell you how often I use these just to do something fine, like peel up the edge of double stick tape or something like that. So these are just really, they have so many different purposes, and these are the best tweezers ever made. Next, I have these Prep and Weapon sanding blocks by Time Saver Tools. And the thing that I love about these is they will hold the sandpaper just rock tight in there. So basically, you put your sandpaper in there, and when you close the act of installing the sandpaper, it draws the sandpaper really tight, and that's how you want sandpaper. You don't want it loose and shifting around when you use it. But better than that is, you see the shape of this right here. Not only does it fit your hand perfectly, but you put this in your wood vise, and with the sandpaper down, you can use this for lapping small parts. So I use these with some frequency to just when I'm starting out and there's like I'm trying to remove like a lot of corrosion marks or pitting on some metal or something like that, maybe a chisel. I would then lock this in my wood vise, and I can just go back and forth on this. And then, I mean, it works great for that. So you got 2, I use 3. I use one for 120, 180, and 220. When I do that, I'm giving 2 because I think that 3 is just too much to put into a traveling toolbox. And I know that Shay will appreciate not having to try to figure that out. So then the final item that we have here is my favorite set of strops, and this is from Jason Travis. And Jason, we totally appreciate this donation because this is just a wonderful bench strop. So you can see that this part goes either on the edge of your bench or in your vise, and then you can like really use this securely. And it's just a really well made, really well designed strop for sharpening. And then he's also included some green chrome oxide lapping compound, which works really well, and I agree, that's what I use on my strops also. So what I didn't include in this, I didn't include like a comprehensive set of sharpening tools, like there's no diamond plates or anything, just because it's just getting too out of control. This is more than what's going to fit into the toolbox as it is. Shay's going to have his hands full on trying to decide what to include in the toolbox. But what's not going to fit in the toolbox, is probably more here that's going to fit in the toolbox, but what's not in the toolbox will still all be sent, and you can put it in your own drawers and on your own shelves. But, I mean, thank you so much for participating in this auction. Please save your lunch money to buy as many slots as you can for a great cause. You remember, if you can't win if you don't play. Last year's winner just absolutely loved the set of full bedrock planes that he won, and that was just a really special set. You know, can you win this year? Yes, you can, and it's only going to be a $10 entry fee. And then again, there's going to be a Facebook Live random drawing that's going to be on one of those big wheels, and then somebody's going to win all this like wonderful stuff. So I estimate the value of all this stuff, you know, $4,000 or $5,000, and then with the toolbox that Shay's creating, that's going to be worth at least another $4,000 or $5,000. So it's going to be a lot of great value for the raffle. And thank you again so much for considering this. I will post again once the raffle gets closed to show the toolbox. And you know, good luck. I hope you win.